I love your nails.
Ooh, let's see. What are they? What has she got?
I think I saw.
Oh,
yeah.
Love it.
Rainbow action.
Beautiful. What is up, everybody? Welcome on into the call up. I am Susanna Collins. That is Jillian Sakovitz. Hey, baby, Pride Month almost over, but that doesn't mean that we are not still having a party. If you're listening, Jill just turned on her flashing lights. She is also wearing one of the incredible Pride training tops that MLS released, and it's this whole rainbow tie-dye situation. I love it. I love it.
It reminds me a lot of the, you know what it brings me back to? The do-it-yourself tie-dye tees you used to wear at summer camp. And I'm so here for it.
Oh, that was always so much fun. So messy, but really, really fun. So do you know what I did this past weekend, Jill?
Tie-dyed.
No, close. So I went back to Chicago and had like an actual night out in the city, which was my first like night out. I'm talking like dinner, going out to a bar, a few rooftop bars, having some cocktails, and in honor of Pride Month, there was a DJ playing a set that celebrated Lady Gaga's, the 10-year anniversary of Lady Gaga releasing Born This Way, which number one, that just like blew my mind because I was like, didn't that just come out like 5 years ago? Oh no, it was 10 years ago. But this DJ was incredible. And I danced my face off in heels, which I haven't done in Lord knows how long. And this body was feeling it, let me tell you, but so worth it. So freaking worth it.
Well, you know who would be really proud of you, my friend?
Who?
Our guest today and her entire crew. Allie Krieger, who, that whole crew, Ashlyn Harris, Sydney LaRue, they threw the most epic Pride party to start off the month. It also seemed to be like in the back of like a pizzeria or a Mexican restaurant, which I am so here for. That is that, you know, I love a fancy cocktail, but like deep down, I want to be in the back of a restaurant with just a bunch of tables pushed together. Allie Krieger, an inspiration. And not only because of all of her advocacy and all that she's done, but the life that she has formed with her Orlando Pride teammate and her wife, Ashlyn Harris, is incredible. Mm-hmm. Them being parents now to baby Sloane Phillips. We talked to her about that. But also, like, Allie Krieger is the ultimate warrior. Mm-hmm. Something, you know, fans maybe that have gotten into the game a little more recently don't realize she's had to battle so much in her life. You know, you go all the way back to her time at Penn State. She was killing it. The team was doing well. She breaks her leg. Then after that, she gets a pulmonary embolism that could have ended her life if she had not gone to the hospital like one day later.
Yeah.
She tears an ACL at one point in her career. She gets that inexplicable like 2-year exile, more or less. I hate to use that word, from the national team prior to the 2019 World Cup, where they come back and she's a 2-time world champion. And just to see her living her best life with Ashlyn Harris and baby Sloane is all you need to cap off the month of June.
Here for this. Are we here for this? Are we not here for this? The Americana pre-match kits that MLS has released ahead of. So it is the 4th of July.
Are you adding a foreign accent to the American kits, girlfriend?
Americana.
I love it.
Americana.
A woman of the world.
Because we are a melting pot here
in
America. That is literally what America is all about. So I have, in the past, in previous seasons, I have loved these jerseys. They do this kind of every year. Last year, there was kind of this like cool star pattern. It's always just very, very festive, very appropriate for Independence Day. This year, the jerseys are, they are bold. It is a very aggressive red and white striped kit that is sort of reminiscent of the you know, the flags, like the
Suze, call it what it is. It's the 1996 New England Revolution kits, but
that's
for everybody, that's
literally
exactly
what it looks like.
You're all the New England Revolution.
That's what it looks like. It is what it looks like. And our producer Galina, who is fabulous, she said in our notes, she said, these reminds me of the cup that holds ices. You know, when you get like the ices, kind of like a Slurpee, like at 7-Eleven.
Oh, yeah.
And it's that like
That's
right.
festive.
And that is what it reminded me of. And then it made me think of, remember those ice pops, like they're called like fireworks, and it's like red, white, and blue. Like it's just that sort of pattern. So it's festive.
Are you here for this? Are you here for them?
I'm gonna say they're not my favorite because I've loved ones that they've done in the past, and these ones are not my favorite. I guess I'm not
I think
here for it.
everyone should also dress as Alexi Lawless and buy these kits, and then then it'll all make
and then
sense.
I will be here for it. Own goals, okay? Typically, own goals make me devastated for the person that it happens to, because I'm just always
because you have a heart.
it's gut wrenching. Like it's just like, oh no. But we saw not one, but two in this wild Chicago Philadelphia match at Soldier Field. And the first one was courtesy of Glesnes from Philadelphia. And this actually, if that wasn't an own goal, it's a banger. Like it would have been. He was trying to make a clearance, but then it turned into this like rocket shot, and Andre Blake is just like, oh man, like there's nothing he could do. And so but then my favorite part about that one, Jill, was that the Chicago Fire were like celebrating like they had actually scored this banger, and it was like, no,
Suze, for the Chicago Fire, that
you didn't.
is like scoring a banger.
I know. I know. They can't score goals, so why not?
As the saying goes, they're in the basement right now.
Yeah. So, and then the next one was Chicago Fire player Sekulic. It went right off his head, like literally, like boom, boom into the goal. Took a deflection into the goal. And so from usually I'm not here for own goals because like I said, they make me like so sad. And we saw, oh my God, did you see the Spain keeper in the Euros? Oh, that one devastated me. It was, I just wanted to crawl into a hole for him.
Do you have something against Philadelphia?
No, I do not. Not at all.
Just curious.
Not at all. Not at all. I am from Chicago, but in this case,
I was gonna say, you seem to have a little bit of
I am
a little bit of a soft spot for good old Chicago right now. Who's sitting with
struggling.
5 points?
They're
5
struggling.
points.
They're struggling. But these own goals were incredibly entertaining, and so this is the first time in my life I've ever been here for own goals.
And our final here for this. For those of you that are listening, we were sent. How could we not be here for scarves that say "here for this"? Credit to the Minnesota United supporters group, the Dark Clouds, that made these beautiful, beautiful Dark Cloud scarves. And on the other side of them, it says "here for this." So you could only imagine our delight here on the call up that Susanna Collins and I had when we saw these things surface on the internet. So we loved it. We gave it a little shout out. Of course, we thought it was us, but obviously that's just a saying that's been in the world. And Sam Solberg, the president of the Dark Clouds, was kind enough to put them in the mail for us. So thank you so much. We are here for you. We are here for your supporter group, and we are here for these scarves. They win best scarves ever in MLS.
These are incredible. And yeah, like Jill said, I would love to think that this was call up inspired, but that's okay. We'll take them. But seriously, like Sam Solberg went out of her way to ask us what our addresses were. She sent them out with a very, very sweet note. So we could not be more grateful. We love them. We are going to wear them next time we are at Allianz and hang with the Dark Clouds.
Time now for AT&T 5G call to the field. 2-time World Cup champion, 108 caps for the U.S. women's national team, and defender for the Orlando Pride. Allie Krieger is in the house.
Thanks
Cheers,
for having me.
you lady.
Cheers.
So like with any new mom, sure, Allie, we want to talk to you about you, but really, we're just going to ask you a bunch of questions to start about your baby, because that's what parenthood is all about. Baby Sloane Phillips took the world by storm in February, and the world has just never been the same. How's baby Sloane?
She's amazing. She's the happiest baby. She's so she's laughing all the time. She's never fussy unless she's hungry or tired. And that's it. She smiles at everyone. She giggles at everything. She just talks to herself, is living her best life. I feel like when we have our second, they're going to be probably a little terror. So I'm going to enjoy this time because she's the best baby and she sleeps and she eats great. And I mean, she hasn't missed a meal really with those cheeks that she's grown to get right now. But everything's been awesome. Like, we're so overjoyed and happy.
I am obsessed. I'm legit obsessed with baby Sloane. And when you guys announced that you were bringing her home, I was like, that is the coolest name I have ever heard. Like, Sloane Phillips. I mean, she's already a badass. Where did that name come from?
Well, Sloane, we were attracted to that name and for a long time. I mean, I think Macklemore, we first saw it on Macklemore's Instagram where his daughter is named Sloane. And then there's a actor on Entourage that's also named Sloane. So
yes.
I feel like we've just heard it over the years, and I keep like a little, tab in my notes section on my phone and just kind of keep names if I hear them and I love them. And so I like collect the names, and we just kind of put it together with Phillips because Ash's late grandma, who passed away last October, her maiden name was Phillips. And we wanted to honor her, and we told her about the opportunity to adopt Sloane. It wasn't official, but we were able to tell her the day before. So I think she had something to do with it. I'm like such a big believer in that. And I really feel like she kind of made this happen. So we wanted to honor her in that way. And we thought Sloane Phillips like fit perfectly together. So
Grandma Phillips is looking out for you guys.
Yeah.
Wow. I love to hear that. Chills. There's such, you say, we were calling baby Sloane a badass. I don't even know if you can call babies a badass, but badass women around you that are also moms. It's inspirational for all of us, whether it's Alex Morgan, Sydney Leroux. Who did you go to, and what was the best piece of mom advice that you got?
I think the best mom advice, I mean, having Alex and Sid were like amazing because they would send us, lists of things to buy and what works.
This is what, exactly.
And it was just really helpful from the beginning, or, hey, this worked for Charlie. It might not work for Sloane, but like, this worked for Rue and Cassius, just try this out. Maybe she will like this or that. So it was so helpful in that way. And also, there's power in numbers too. So we had like a mom meeting as well. With the club, and we're like, listen, like we, need this and that in order to like perform our best. And so they're on board with anything you guys need. Like, we will get it done, and we will do our best to make sure that you can just focus on the games and focus on training, and we will take care of the rest. And they've been amazing for us and have really set the standard for other teams in the league to kind of have all of those good things. But,
so like a babysitter at the training grounds, is that what that means?
That's what I said. Do you want to pay for a nanny? And no, but they've just been really accommodating and really have made this so easy for us to allow us to perform. And obviously it's been helping because, we're still in first place. But I think the main advice, going back to your question, would be to accept the help that, your family and friends give you, because I do have like serious mom guilt. So when I go to training, I'm like, am I not doing enough? Am I, missing her like rollover, or am I missing her feeding? Like what, I'm missing putting her down for her first nap of the day. Like, I really feel like, I don't know, I need to kind of let go a little bit and be also just focus on my job, because I know she will be so inspired by us doing what we love to do. And hopefully that will, help give her the tools to want to do the same. And so I have to kind of let go of that mom guilt and really accept people around within our family and friend group and chosen family that want to help and do everything for us so that we can be good at what we do. And so I feel like that is the best advice I've gotten, from multiple badass moms who've given us advice that we've really taken on board.
Allie, what have you learned about yourself since becoming a parent? Have you had any sort of self-discovery moments like, wow, I didn't know that I was this patient, or I didn't know that I could operate on this much sleep? What have been those kind of revelations for you?
Yeah, two of those things. I mean, you said it right there. I feel like I've recognized that I am really patient and I can multitask very well. I feel like I have all these tasks I need to get done. Like, especially when she goes down for a nap, everyone says, "Oh, just sleep when the baby sleeps." I'm like, no, I got to go wash the bottles. I got to go wash her laundry. I got to fold the clothes. I got to, I don't know, make sure that the nursery water's in the bottles and the formula's, put together. And then I got to go walk the dogs, or I got to go do all these things. So it's like, I feel like I can multitask really well. And then I feel I'm not the most affectionate person in a relationship. I can be, but I just feel like with Sloane, I am so affectionate, and I am just like filled with so much love that I didn't realize kind of I had underneath the layers. So it's really enjoyable to kind of, take away those layers and really give everything for her. Like I love her so much and so unconditionally that I never knew I could really love a human being that much. And I'm sure Ash would probably be like, well, don't you love me just as much? And I do, but it's just different. It's, and she says the same. So we are just so in love with her. And I didn't recognize that I, could feel this way.
Your fans and the soccer world in general just went completely ballistic when that picture of you, Ashlyn, and baby Sloane emerged standing in front of the revolving doors at a hospital. February 12th, baby was born. For so many of your LGBTQIA couples looking to have kids, can you share a little bit about like what the process was? I know Ashlyn was very open about, all the stress, all the anxiety, but why this was the right one for you to start your family, and also like how long this all takes, and like who knew and who do you let know, and just how does this all work?
Mm-hmm. Good question. I feel like it was a long process. It was it was a growing process. It was a learning process. It was all the processes in one. I think it was probably one of the most stressful processes I've ever had in my life. I don't know. I feel like I don't feel like I've ever been under that much stress, even like a World Cup final. I feel like I was so unsure of if we were going to walk out of the hospital with her or without her. And so the mom had 48 hours to decide at the end. Once she gave birth, she still had 48 hours. And so in the state of Florida, that's what they give the birth mom to be able to decide. And she hadn't signed the papers yet or anything. It's at that 48th hour that she signs the papers. So we actually built a really good relationship with our birth mom, and still to this day have, contact with her, and will in the future for sure continue to do that. But, you go through this, I think COVID hit, and we decided, listen, let's put our names in the hat, basically. Like, we want to continue to play. And so I can't, get pregnant, and Ash can't get pregnant, because we're still loving to play soccer, and we want to enjoy the game a little bit longer. We want to enjoy club, and we want to try again for the Olympics. Listen, like, it might not happen, but like, we're going to do our best. So let's just give ourselves that chance. So let's actually put our names into adopt. Maybe it happens in, a week, and maybe it happens in 3 years. We don't know. But obviously there's, time there that you don't realize when, you would be able to get, your child. So there was a waiting process, but we contacted this company who then, connected us with an agency in Florida. And then the agency actually was just getting to know us and getting our information. And then 3 weeks later, they call us and they're like, hey, we have a possible match for you.
Wow.
And we're like, excuse me? And this was like in May, right? We were like, okay, well, we have some time on our hands. Let's like get all of our things together. Let's do a profile book and all the things. They go, well, can you get us your profile book? And this was like for like literally in the next 2 days. We have this potential birth mom who we're going to present with other families. She's looking for a specific same-sex female couple. Like, do you guys want to put your names in? And we were like, well, yeah, but like, we're not even like ready. Holy cow, this is like happening so fast. People wait years.
Yeah.
And it was literally 3 weeks later. So we were like, okay. So I put a profile book together. We put pictures, and it was not much about soccer at all. It was just about us as human beings and our life outside of soccer, which I think is so important. And all the other things, all the good things. And so, you know, we put it together, we sent it off. They presented it to her a week later. They called us 2 weeks later and said, hey, she chose you. And we were like, this was at the last fall series game. That night I get home at 7:30 after playing North Carolina. I think we tied 3-3 that game. It was like the last of the 4 games we had. And I sit down and I get this phone call and I'm like, oh my gosh. And she said, well, she matched with you. She chose you. And so then we have the opportunity to say yes or no, you know, after looking at the, you know, records and, you know, whatever else. I mean, we said any gender, any race, you know, we want any baby available. So we were open to anyone. And it happened to be her. And so we were just so like taken back. And we were going into national team camp 2 days later, you know, for October camp. And we were just like, oh my God. And we couldn't say anything because we were like, listen, we don't know what's going to happen. Let's just like chill and relax. And so we just sat there and enjoyed it. And my brother, like my best friend in the entire world, was here visiting that weekend. And so he shared that phone call with us. And yeah, it was unbelievable. And we both just cried and we're so overjoyed. And
Getting very emotional about the whole thing right now.
It's so beautiful.
It's beautiful.
What
It's a really
feel-good story.
It's a beautiful story. And, you know, you kind of alluded to it before, just, you know, meant to be. These things happen for a reason. They all sort of fall into place. And that is just in such an inspiring, beautiful story. And you mentioned earlier when Sloane has a brother or sister.
Yes.
Do we have a timetable for when that process might start again? Are you ready to take that on again?
I want to, another piece of advice that we got from Sid, because, you know, she has 2 kids now. She said, just enjoy the time with your first child. And she said, that's like something that I can share with you, because I'm happy that, you know, I waited a little bit after Cassius was born to have Rue, because I could actually enjoy spending time with him and, you know, create those memories with just him before I rushed on to a second. And so I kind of appreciated that honesty. And I feel the same, but I also am 13 months apart from my brother. And so not that I'm, you know, rushing, like, you know, I would already, I guess, have to be pregnant by now. But, you know, I value that relationship I have with him and how close we are. So I think that that's also a blessing to have, you know, a sibling that's really, really close. I mean, we're almost like Irish twins at this point. So, you know, I don't know how my mom did it with 2 kids under 2, but it's able to be done. I think we're just going to see how, you know, we feel after this year and play. And Ash could probably play forever. You know, she just loves the game so much and she's so damn good. And, you know, goalkeeper can play longer, I feel like. So for me, I'll have to see what this year, you know, entails. If we win, you know, we'll see how I feel. And then, but I'm loving it so much and I'm enjoying the team. And I know I'm getting older, but it's, you know, you can't play forever. And I want to enjoy it as long as I can before I have to hang up the boots. So we'll see how I feel after this season.
Fair.
Whether it's being an athlete or being a broadcaster where, you know, you got to be on a plane 3 times a week. It's so inspirational to hear a woman talk about how else you can have a baby, that even though you're sure you could carry a baby, that like you can also have a baby, because like the truth of the matter is a 9 to 12 month commitment is a really big commitment when you're only working with a finite amount of time. So it's just incredible. And you guys are such an inspiration.
Thank you.
So I'm sure we'll end up talking about baby Sloane again, but you know what, Allie, let's talk about you. So when I last saw you, it was ahead of the 2019 World Cup, and the world, maybe you guys knew, but I don't think that the world and women maybe in the US kind of knew what we were in for with that year and that championship. You had tears in your eyes when I talked to you about getting called up ahead of that summer, but you're just such a warrior in general. Everything that you've been through, I don't know if survivor is the right word, you know, but you really are. You're a survivor. You're a warrior. What allows you to be so strong?
I think I am so determined to want to succeed and just better myself every day that I feel like and also a little bit of the competitiveness, I think really drives me to just want to be a good human being, but also damn good at what I do. And I think that I just have this drive within me to, want to be great and succeed and help my team win championships and games and play at the highest level. So I feel like I've just had that in me since I was really young. And I think that has really helped guide me through these tough times. And I always think that, you should never go around under or over obstacles in your life. You have to just walk right through them, because that's how you grow and you get better. And no matter if they're good or bad, but I feel like I've really tried to do that my whole life so that I can learn as much as I can and be the best that I can be. But I think through those processes and, through adversity, I've always wanted to take the higher road, and I've always wanted to strive to be the best. So that, I think, just comes from within, and guidance from also watching my mom as I grew up. I mean, she's one of the strongest women I know. And, she's worked so hard to now 42 years later and just retired this year to be our nanny.
Congrats.
That's awesome.
Job. But she's been so determined to want to be great at her job. And she's taught me hard work and dedication and what it really takes to be a strong woman. So, and fight for what you deserve. And I think that's, where I get a lot of my strength from as well.
And would she just retire from, your mom, you said?
She was a PE teacher, so physical.
My dad was a PE teacher.
Yeah, we got teachers over here.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Congratulations.
Yeah, educators or teachers, they're
The best.
so
Heroes.
important.
They're literally heroes. That is so awesome. And it's so incredible to hear and think about everything that you've gone through, but then the payoffs, right? You have succeeded on the biggest stage imaginable, and all that hard work, all those trials and tribulations, it all becomes worth it, and it's all part of your journey. And nobody earned the right to celebrate more than the U.S. women's national team after winning the 2019 World Cup. And Jill and I sat here having the biggest case of FOMO I've ever had in my life. I was just like, all I want to do in life is hang out with them and party with this group, because they're having a 2-week-long rager and I want to be there.
Well, you guys probably all saw it on Instagram.
Oh, I mean, Ashlyn was she was sharing it all. Is there anything though, Allie, is there one story that you can tell us that like we didn't see, just like something like funny or crazy that happened? Somebody passed out, somebody like missed a flight. Like, is there one little nugget that you can share with us about that? Because Jill and I literally still talk about it all the time.
Okay, so I mean, people probably saw this when we got off the flight, but we not stole. I mean, it was a gift. I think it was from Jay-Z and the champagne. It was $5,000 champagne bottle. It was like the biggest champagne bottle I've ever seen in my life. And we took it on the flight home. And I think they were gonna like pack it underneath, and we were like, no, like bring that up to the top. So on the way home, we all just started getting trashed on the flight.
Yes.
Because we had, I don't know, it was like 7-8 hours. We got off the flight and we landed in New York. And then, the firemen were there and the police, and they were all like cheering and everyone was so excited. And I don't know if like the military was there, but they were just like so pumped and were, just had this huge party when we got off the flight. Photos and the mayor and all these things. And we're like barely can like talk because we're all just like, oh God, we're like really tipsy. And some of us were drunk and we were just like, okay, this isn't gonna look good. Everyone just smile and focus on.
Everyone had sunglasses on too, which exactly. I was like, I know that trick. I've done that before.
Yeah. So
did you say that the champagne was from Jay-Z? Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his.
She casually dropped that in.
Yeah, but
can you elaborate?
What is the brand? It's like with the A on it. I used to know.
Oh, you're asking the wrong person.
I know.
Crushed me online for not knowing this, but he's been incredible. He gave us champagne their company, gave us champagne last World Cup, and then this World Cup, it was like, over the top.
Of the people partying, you know, of course, we all have our idea of what Rose Lavelle is, and we have our idea of what Megan Rapinoe is. But like, who surprised you the most that like turned up that entire week?
Sam Mewis.
Huh.
Sammy gets after it.
Honestly, she's so much fun and such a good kid. Like, I love her so much. And I mean, I'm sure everybody, you know, so just, I don't know, attracted to her just as a player and a human being. And then she just takes it to another level when you're hanging out and letting loose. And it's so much fun to be around her.
We've talked about a little bit about your journey that has had some ups and downs. And so I know that you are used to being in a position of kind of having to like bounce back. And it's not something that I love bringing up about the Olympic roster being announced last week and you and Ashlyn not being included. And Ashlyn terrible decision. We'll just say it here. We can absolutely say that on this podcast. And Ashlyn posted a pretty, emotional message, following that announcement. But, just kind of how are you feeling now that it's been a few days and you've kind of had time to let that sort of sink in? Like, what is your reaction when that kind of thing happens? Is it you're like, I've been in this position before? Is that kind of how it is?
Yes and no. I mean, this is the first big tournament I've missed since 2000. I mean, I was a alternate at the 2008 Olympics, and then I missed 2012 when we won gold because of injury. And so this was probably the first biggest tournament, Olympics or World Cup, that I haven't been a part of in my entire career. So it definitely was heartbreaking. It's not easy because I do feel like we've been playing really well and we're in first place. And, I wish we would have just had a final opportunity in one of those last camps to really fight for our spot. And I can just say that, just being honest, I do think we've been really doing well. And if you're doing well in the league, you would hope that you would have, an opportunity at the highest level, just one last chance. But I understand his decision. I don't have to agree with it. Yeah. I think for me, last year we probably would be having a different conversation because before COVID, I think Ash and I would be there. And then we knew that when COVID hit, we lost the year, and so did the staff. And we knew that this was going to be a hard, battle, but we were willing to try, and we were willing to do our best, and knew that if we perform well in games and in the league, then, we could have a chance. And so we respect Vlatko. I think very highly of him, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. And I told him that. And, it's rare that you get to the highest level and you end your career on the sparkling, rainbows and unicorns, and everyone's like, yay, here's your retirement game, and let's celebrate you and do all these things. And I mean, that's so rare. And we all kind of hope for that. But when it doesn't happen, I don't want to think that my career wasn't incredible and wasn't deserving and wasn't valued and appreciated. And I didn't, I gave every single bit of myself to that team over the past 12, 13 years. So, I'm so grateful for the opportunity. It's always an honor to put on the shirt. I am so excited to watch all my teammates play. All of those women are incredible. They're great teammates. They're great people. They're great footballers. And I'm so proud of each and every one of them, and they deserve it. And so that's what I can say for Ash, as like a wife and a supporter of her as, a person and a player. She's been outperforming every goalkeeper in the league, in my opinion. And so I was more upset that she wasn't able to be a part of the team, because I do think she's been incredible for us. And she's such a good leader and a good energy to have in a squad. So I was more upset, I think, for her than for myself.
Wow. What a good spouse. What a good partner.
Yeah.
What a good life teammate.
Well, I've also
Um,
been there in 2016 when she was an alternate. And so I just wanted her to have that
Yeah.
opportunity so bad. I just wanted one of us to be a part of it. But, that's okay. And we're going to continue focusing on here with the pride and
Yes.
keep kicking ass and sitting in number one, first place on the table.
So big of you to say that, because whether it's throughout your career or personally and professionally, you make sacrifices for goals,
Yep.
and you got to kind of balance them then when they don't always come through. So really big of you. Advocacy, soccer, you dabbled in broadcasting last year as well. You guys seem to do it all. Is there anything on your list that you kind of haven't done that you have your eyes on that you'd like to do at some point in your life?
You would think this is funny. I feel like I want to travel, but I want to travel without playing football. Like, I want to go to a city and not just sit in a hotel and then go to the soccer field. I want to actually, not that I'm ungrateful for all of those opportunities to travel and this and that. And we do see incredible places, but I feel like I want to travel to certain cities that I haven't been to and able to actually see it, and without having the, that stress of performing every single day just for our job. So I would love to do that.
Mm.
And
What's one city?
I want to go to Iceland. Well, just the country, but I want to go to Iceland and just travel around to multiple cities there and explore. And then even the U.S. Like I want to go to Americana with Ash, and I want to go to Yosemite, and I want to go back to Big
National
Sur,
parks, baby.
Yeah, and just see most of our country. I want to go to Austin. I have never been to Austin, and I've heard it's like amazing. So I have a few places, that we want to go and travel around eventually.
I think that sounds like an excellent plan. I feel like we all probably have a little bit of wanderlust at this point. Like,
maybe just like in a van or something and travel around.
Literally, I would do it. Like I
Sounds
never,
like a Netflix series to me, but then again,
never thought I would sign myself up for. But yeah, I think I feel like you and Ashlyn, that could be. You should sell that to some networks because
but then it takes all the fun out of it.
I know, but
I don't
still,
like
I would still watch it. I would still watch. Allie, it's the end of Pride Month. I know you have your rainbow nails. You guys went all out. What's sort of your as the I mean, we're celebrating Pride all the time. Let's be honest. That is not just the month of June. It is literally a year-round 365 days a year thing. Right. Just get that out there. Yeah. But what's your message? What is your overall message to, maybe someone who's struggling right now, maybe somebody who has just come out, maybe somebody who wants to come out but doesn't feel like they have the support? What would you say to somebody that needs to hear from somebody like you who has this platform and is just such a strong advocate and such a role model?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I think this is so important for a lot of our younger, athletes and younger kids, a part of our LGBTQ community, to feel they're living their authentic life and living, life to the fullest and feel appreciated and valued and supported. And I just want to say that there's such an incredible community out here waiting for you who will love you. I know that it's very difficult to take that next step and really living your truth, but I do feel like there's such an incredible world for you to explore, because there's so many people who will love you for you, and no one can live your life better than how you can live it. And I really feel like it's so important that we have people who are in this world, who are so, just individuals who really live their authentic life and inspire other people to want to do the same. And I hope that, you know, with Ash and I, and now with our daughter Sloane, that we've really helped save some people and thinking that they can't have a happy ending and that they, you know, possibly don't deserve that. And maybe through watching us live our authentic life, that they feel like they can have great things too, and that they deserve great things because of who they are and just because of who they love and what they love. And we need to just really start lifting each other up and loving each other for who we are, because we can't live our lives better than you know, anyone else other than just being ourselves. And so I feel like it's really important that the visibility continues and the authenticity of everyone's individual life really shines, because that just inspires everyone to come out as they are and live life and love and be happy.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful. What's on tap? Well, I will tell you what's on tap because we have some big news surrounding MLS All-Star. The All-Star Skills Challenge presented by AT&T 5G is back, baby, after a very successful first go-around back in 2019, which I was a part of. It is back. It's going to be held on August 24th. Just part of all the festivities surrounding All-Star Week. It's going to be at Bank of California. Carlos Vela, Chicharito, they are on board for this, and they are going to take on the All-Stars of Liga MX, and it is going to be so very much fun. There are all sorts of challenges.
How much fun do the guys have doing this?
Okay, like I'm not kidding. It was one of my favorite things I've gotten to do at MLS. I've gotten to do some very cool things, but the way I don't know if you guys remember, but in 2019, Orlando, it was the Orlando team, and it was Nani who hits the crossbar for the last second dramatic win. I mean, it was nuts, and the place went absolutely ballistic, and it was just one of the most like it was one of these where it was like, oh, you couldn't have scripted that any better.
They're
and
competitors.
And they were so into it. That was the thing. And what was also really cool was that all of the All-Stars were there watching the guys compete. And it was just a really cool opportunity to chat with the players in a kind of a really like loose atmosphere. They were all in fantastic moods. It was such a fun event. And I am so very glad that they're bringing it back. I cannot wait to watch.
What would
our
skill,
lot to live up to from 2019?
What would our skill be if we were doing a skills challenge?
Well, I recall you and I attempting crossbar challenges a few years back. We did okay. We weren't like terrible. Do you know what I wish they would do? I want them to do yes, exactly. And I can't remember who it was. I think it was Matt Turner actually tweeted, like he was like, something's missing from this list. Entertaining as heck. But if you guys want more information on all things skills challenge, check out mlssoccer.com for more information. Cannot wait.
LA, baby. And also, as Pride Month comes to an end across the world, we want to remind you, be kind to each other all year round, please. Soccer for all truly means soccer for all. And let's make sure that we are allies 12 months a year. And if you haven't yet, head over to mlssoccer.com where you can check out how to be a better ally in your community. And big thank you to all the people who stepped in and supported and helped us with our messaging this month, including Ali Krieger, Janelli Farias, who shared their stories on the call up, and also to Robbie Rogers and Colin Martin for their incredible and important, honest speaking interviews on Extra Time Radio, which if you haven't, check it out. So happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride. Happy 4th of July, everyone.
Have a great holiday. Be safe. Be safe.
Yes,
be nice.
Be safe. Be safe. Be kind. Safe. Be good. We're here for you. What's up, everybody? It is Susanna Collins and Jillian Sakovitz, co-hosts of The Call Up. And if you want more Call Up action, hit like and subscribe right here on YouTube, right there.
And also make sure that you download every episode of The Call Up every single Tuesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time or anywhere that you get your podcasts. And while you're here, why not check out some of these other videos as well?